Exactly.
Oh, Joseph is sweepy.
He is CP boy.
CB.
Yeah.
What's
I've
all
only
this?
had one cup of coffee so far, so
Oh my goodness! It's past 9. Only one cup of coffee.
That's one too many. One too many.
nope, that's no one, not enough. Saturday, we go wild on Saturdays.
Ew.
Yep,
We go wild on Saturdays.
yep.
I don't know what that means, but I don't like it.
It's 2 cups of coffee.
Ew. That's too many.
Nah, gets the bowels moving and other things.
Did that? I mean, listen, my bowels don't need help.
How do you know?
Because I'm as regular as Sunday morning.
But you could be more regular.
I don't
On
need to
Sunday
be more
morning.
regular. I don't need to be more regular. I don't know.
Okay.
That's
you know
a,
what?
I mean, my butthole is not ready for that kind of action.
Oh, his butthole gets plenty of action, Joe. Don't try to
Yeah.
give his butthole more action.
I'm sorry.
Once a day, good enough.
His butthole is maxed out on action.
Yep. One activity a day. That's it. Morning poo.
Just once? Oh,
Yeah. That's
Okay.
it. That's
Yeah.
enough.
weird to have more than 3.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe you should
Joe.
see a doctor.
God.
Yeah, Joe.
Joe suffers from chafed butthole.
No,
He has a
I buy
bidet.
decent toilet paper.
Oh, I thought it was because he had a bidet. Water fountain for your
I'm
booty
not
hole.
That's a
fancy.
soggy butthole.
That's why I said I buy the decent wallpaper.
Oh God.
toilet,
Oh no.
toilet paper, not the good stuff,
Joe's going spackling.
and not fancy.
He puts
I
it on,
am-
then rips it off.
I am firmly maybe like middle class.
Middle class.
Middle low.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Upper tier low class motherfuckers.
He's tier 3 lower class.
I can't afford to be anything more than that.
Right?
Same.
Shit's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Although gas is getting cheaper, and I like that.
Is it? I don't actually pay attention. Gas is one of those things that I know that I need.
So you just throw it
So
in
I
there.
literally I throw it in there. Like I go to the most convenient gas station
Absolutely not.
and I just get gas. That's it.
No, that's not happening for me.
No, I'm not
I'm
one
not.
of those.
I'm not going to pay 50 cents a gallon extra for convenience. No, sir.
And I'm not going to drive around wasting gas looking for a better deal.
Yeah, but Joe lives like a block and a half from the most convenient and the cheapest gas. So
Does he? Is Costco?
no, it's Fry's.
No.
It's right next to him.
But I don't even get fries,
Fries is not cheapest.
It is if you shop at Fry's.
which I don't do a whole lot anymore.
So no. So where does?
So,
Sure,
like,
yeah.
the only gas station that I really go to anymore is that Four Sons on.
The Chevron.
The Chevron, yeah. The Chevron one.
This motherfucker is easy middle class buying Chevron gas.
Yeah,
I
right.
said I'm middle class.
Middle. Joe makes more money than all of us combined, apparently.
Bullshit.
Buying that gas, you are.
I'm pretty sure you make more than both of us combined.
I mean, that's possible, but still, I don't buy Chevron gas.
I also have a car that is, from 2008 and barely holding itself together.
Excuses all here, Joe.
You sure don't act like it, sir.
Pretty sure the Chevron gas is what's holding my car together. That and the loud music.
I figured that would shake it apart.
No. It covers up the noises. So
Yeah.
if you don't hear it, it's
Not
not,
a problem.
happening. See?
It's good theory.
If you don't
Exactly.
hear it, it's not a problem.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not accurate, but, it's a good theory.
Nah. That's how it works.
I don't think that's how it works.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I mean, it's worked for me so far.
Joel's rolling around on a three-wheeler.
I mean, it's working. That's what he's
None
saying.
of the lights are on the dash.
That you know of.
Does the dash work? Sure.
Well, I
Maybe.
mean,
I don't
maybe,
know.
yeah.
The gauges
I
move.
hope. Some of them.
The
do.
gauges do move, yeah.
Some of them.
And that's all I need to know. If the gauges move, that's good. Are the gauges accurate? I'm assuming so.
I hope so.
Especially that gas one, apparently.
I know that the low pressure light comes on because that means I have to refill my tires, which
How
happens
often does that
last,
one?
like twice a year. As it cools down, it'll come on, and then when it heats up, it comes on. But that's why I have one of those. I bought one of those Ryobi tire inflators last weekend.
Job, Joe.
I know, right?
My tire sensors have come on like once ever.
Your car's real new, though.
Yeah, your car is incredibly new. Mine's a 2008 Kia Spectra.
Run that motherfucker. Run it. Team Kia.
Surprisingly, it's been a very good car. No major mechanical issues, knock on wood.
Honestly, Kias have been good for a good decade plus now. Like, they've been really good cars. So
I've been.
you're in the window. You're in the window.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think that window is a decade long, I don't think you know math.
I said about. That's plus or minus. Don't be a math dick.
Okay.
Math dick.
I know what I fucking said.
It's fair.
Punch you in the math dick.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I meant it.
Taj is afraid of math dick, and Mike loves dick math, so.
Does he though?
Yep.
Does he?
Yep.
Does Mike like math?
No, dick math, there's a difference.
Oh,
What's
there's a
dick math?
difference.
What's dick math?
Where
I
you,
know what
add,
math dick
where you
is.
add dicks together.
Mm.
Loves dicks.
So he really just loves multiple dicks.
Yeah.
Got it. Teach his own, Mike. Teach his own.
It's funny. Did you guys ever watch Silicon Valley?
I've seen like one episode, and I have seen that episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the season 1 finale, they do dick math.
Yes.
So they're at the conference, basically showing off their wares, trying to get backing, and they are frustrated because their model isn't working the way they thought it was working. So they're sitting back there and they start talking randomly, and then all of a sudden someone's like, "We couldn't get something like, we can't get enough funding even if we jerked off every dick in the room." And they start doing equations of how to figure out how to most efficiently jerk off all the dicks in the room. And so if you two-hand it and you put them almost tip to tip, you have to line up the same, not length, but girth, so you don't have to change your hand position, so you can just smoothly go back and forth. And so you have
There's also something about like you'd have a taller guy and a shorter guy. That way you could have it at each at an angle, and then
yeah. And so doing that dick math, they end up actually stumbling upon how to make their software work properly.
Mm-hmm.
And so the entire time, I can't remember his name, something Hiddleston or Middleton or something like that, whatever the main actor's name is, he starts plugging away on his laptop and figures it out using the dick math equation to figure out how the software actually can function properly. It's pretty funny. But that's what you get from Mike Judge, so.
That's true.
There's a show my brother used to watch, and that he showed me that episode.
It's really funny. That show's hilarious.
I just couldn't get into it.
What are you guys watching these days?
I finished One Piece, the live action over the weekend because I thought.
So say 500 episodes. Cody got it. Really anxious
dude,
there for Zane.
Dude, they're on 1,073 episodes now.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
well, there's over 1,000 chapters in the manga.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've converted all the manga into the anime, but so yeah, there's a lot of anime. I did attempt to like months ago to start watching the actual anime, and I I think I only got 2 episodes in. Mostly because it just, I don't know, at the time it just didn't hold my interest, and also I've known about the show for a very long time. You don't realize how old that show is until you start watching the very first season. You're like, damn, this looks
Yeah, but
old.
like I'll be honest. I watched the live action, and then I decided, well, I like this, so I'm going to try and watch the manga. You know,
The anime?
the cartoon on Netflix and the anime. And I watched one episode, and I was like, okay, I can watch this, and I haven't gone back.
It's fair.
Yeah. So the anime the live action is very well done. Have you started watching it, Cody?
I finished it, yeah.
Finished it, okay. It's very well done. The biggest surprise for me is how accurate they got most of the characters. I think the actor that they got to play Luffy it looks a bit different than what the anime looks like, which is fine, whatever. Nami is a little bit different as well, but the 2 actors that they got to play Zoro,
Yeah.
and I cannot remember the other dude's name.
Really, really accurate, though, to your point. They look really good.
I know Cody's laughing because he knows the name, but
Yep.
the chef guy, I cannot remember his name for the life of me right now. Oh my god, like, so accurate for those 2 characters. It's awesome. But then it's weird to see the show and wonder what the budget that they got to do this one versus what they did for Cowboy Bebop, because obviously Cowboy Bebop has, you know, a lot of CG and whatnot in it as well, but it seems like they had to cut a lot of stuff because they probably didn't have the budget to do a lot of it. But here you have One Piece, and it is completely just made up stuff totally.
Yeah.
At least with Cowboy Bebop, you had certain scenes would be more like city scenes and stuff like that. So you had places that you could probably film in or whatnot. But you have this show that seems like it's a lot more CG heavy and a lot more practical effects heavy if you're doing like the fishmen and stuff like that. And you think it would cost a lot more, and they'd probably cut a lot more of it out, like they did with Cowboy Bebop. But no. Now, granted, I haven't watched the first season of the anime. I've never read the manga, so I don't know if everything translates 1-to-1. But from what I've seen, it kind of pretty much does, because and I can be corrected if I'm wrong, each episode is basically an episode of the anime.
Pretty
right?
close, yeah.
Pretty close, yeah. So it's really well done. It looks fantastic. I believe it has already gotten
A second season.
a second season
Yeah.
greenlit, if I recall right.
Yep.
So I can't wait for more.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So a couple of
Go ahead,
the things that make this show a little different than Cowboy Bebop, it went into production before Cowboy Bebop, which is wild.
Okay.
Nice.
But it's actually executive produced by the creator and the company behind the actual manga or manga, depending on who you speak to. So that does help with the production value, like the quality of what's going into it. And then obviously Netflix decided, hey, we probably need to put a lot of money into this.
Yeah, throw all the dollars at this.
Because I was trying to look to see if they mentioned anything online, but I don't think they do. Because it was announced in 2017, I believe. And went through a couple different studios before Netflix got on in 2020. And when they just ordered the first season, they didn't wait. They, much like Netflix never does as a pilot, they just ordered everything. They're just like, give us a handful of episodes.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah. And then obviously COVID decided to make that a real difficult thing to do for a lot of it. Just because, having fight scenes next to somebody usually means you're within 6 feet of them.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that benefited to the production cost was actually the fact that it was filmed in South Africa.
Oh. Okay.
I imagine
But it
that.
kind of makes sense if you're doing a lot of coastline work and stuff like that.
Ice maker, police cars.
I was wondering what was going on there.
I
Yeah.
think that was a fire truck, but I can't. I wasn't looking.
Yeah, whichever one. Fire, police, rescue, something. Yeah, I'm trying to see if anyone listed how much an episode cost or whatever, but I don't see anything. But I mean, and there's a lot of people. I mean, there's there's 1,080 episode or manga chapters, and at least 12 seasons of material just in 6 seasons would cover half of the total manga chapters. So I mean, they a lot. You know what I mean? You'd have to do literally 100 seasons to get the live action to where the anime, the manga is, and the anime is. I want to say it's up to like 1,000. It's either 1,037 or 1,073. I can't remember the number they were on.
Yes, carry the 2.
But yeah, so there's a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Clearly doing well though.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things, and to Joe's point earlier about the Cowboy Bebop, is Cowboy Bebop was plagued by a lot of people dropping in and out of it during production because of, well, creative differences. I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that being kind, or is that what you know?
No, that's kind of what happened. Is it basically they started with a very fancy idea of having everyone involved in it, and then eventually it fell apart because too many things. They wanted to change too many things because Cowboy Bebop is there's a lot of stuff that happens, and it's a very vast world, and the fact it's in space and on space stations and on exotic planets, asteroids, for example. There's a lot of things, but also the characters themselves are very in depth, and they did pull a lot of that from the show. But I think it's really the production value that really kind of suffered the most, because it was unlike one. I'm not saying One Piece is hard to do, but you can easily fake a ship on water versus ships in space or in space stations, things like that. It's a little more costly because we have water. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you can build fake boats or fake facades on boats that actually float and things like that. A little easier, but also like a lot more. Fantasy stuff in One Piece can be very dwindled down to real life stuff, but in Cowboy Bebop there's a lot of fantastical sci-fi stuff that you have to account for. But it just, I don't know, it seemed very bizarre, but also like, which is weird because like I was gonna say like they slimmed down some of the story, but I think they crammed too much stuff into, or tried to cram too much stuff into the episodes of Cowboy Bebop, but also like left out a lot of stuff that was like substance wise, so it felt very hollow. But in like One Piece, it seemed like they did flashbacks, they did a lot of stuff, but also the pacing seems a lot different too. Like they didn't rush a lot of it. They did whole episodes of just for like one character's story arc, versus with Cowboy Bebop, it seemed like by episode 1 we were already diving into like stuff that was happening in like episode 4, for no reason, with no context and things like that. So that kind of suffered too.
We don't have time for context, sir.
I mean, sure. Trying to remember.
Safe to say you liked it though.
One Piece?
And by it, One Piece, yes.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed One Piece quite a bit, and One Piece anime is one of my favorite animes. More, I say modern, but it's been around since the 90s, I think. Then I think I think it started in 1999.
That sounds about right.
That makes it ancient.
Yeah. in standards nowadays. Yeah.
Bullshit.
Let's see. So they're. Oh, I'm sorry. So right now they are 1,082 episodes into the anime.
1082.
They
That's
have
a nice round number.
there's 8 seasons, I believe, is what they are. No, wait, no, more than that.
I was gonna say,
20,
that's a lot of
21 seasons right now. Some of the seasons have like 191 episodes.
damn.
But when you have 10, like 1,000 episodes to work through, then it's quite a bit. And they, unlike a lot of TV shows, anime is very well known for long story arcs.
Drawing that shit out.
They don't
yeah.
Dragon Ball Z it. There's not that where like a single fight happens over 4 episodes.
Right.
But in the anime, again, I don't know about the manga because I haven't read it because I have a hard time reading backwards books. But they also, I just don't like reading manga. It's just not as well done as Western comic books. That's a weird critique to have, but they're also very bizarre if you've never read an actual manga.
Very bizarre.
Yeah, Japan has a weird thing of like not really making. So when you think comic books, all right, they're for kids or whatever, right? Whatever, blah blah blah. Manga just like it's titties and dicks hanging out everywhere.
They do.
It's
more of an accepted adult thing to do.
yeah. Which he over here is like, oh my god, you put nudity in your comic book? What's wrong with you people, you heathens?
So many things. So many things.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So like, there's a lot of like the shortest season of the anime is 13 episodes. Yeah. The longest one is 191. Well, I don't. Well, as of right now, they haven't fully announced the how many episodes are in this new season because they've surpassed the manga in a way by number, but not by content. Because again, the episodes sometimes are
Put together.
yeah, they're not like one manga is like one chapter of the manga isn't one episode of the show.
Right.
But yeah. But anyways, yeah, I actually really enjoyed the live action One Piece. The one, and it's a weird critique, but the one critique that it didn't make sense to me was Luffy's accent.
Okay.
Him having one is really the biggest thing. Because like in the anime, nobody really has accents.
In the English.
Yeah, well, I mean the Japanese one, no one has
yeah.
accents either because they're all in Japanese.
But yeah, I just want to make because you're obviously talking about the English dub.
Yeah.
Of it. Yeah.
Yep. And also the English dub, Luffy's voiced by a woman. But whatever. But yeah, it's not, his accent isn't bad. It's not like it draws away from it. It was just a weird, I don't know, it was a weird choice, I think. But that's the actor has an accent. He doesn't have.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
that is his accent.
Yeah.
Or...
That is his accent. He didn't make that accent for the show. That is his actual accent. And I don't know how to say his name because it's very.
it is very ethnic.
Yeah, it's definitely ethnic. But that's that and all that fun stuff. But I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that that name. But he is from Mexico, I believe. Hold on. Like actual, yeah, from Mexico City. But he's easy to understand. He pronounces everything really well. It was just it was a weird thing at first, and I was like, okay. And like where he's from, nobody else has that accent in the show. And when he was little in the flashbacks, he also doesn't really have that heavy of an accent.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that's kind of a weird thing, but he's great in the role of Luffy, so I'm completely okay with it.
He really is great in that role.
It was just a very
seems to
weird
be
thing
meant for him.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna guess that if everything is accurate here, then it's Inyaki for his first name.
Maybe. I've heard him see people say it like in behind the scenes stuff and like, hey, this is this, but like I don't know. I'm terrible with names in general, so not
Yeah.
remembering them, saying
You're
them.
just terrible in general, but, you know,
Whoa!
names too. What?
Jesus,
I mean, I meant it. You know.
damn, that was mean as hell. So speaking of live action anime stuff, I know Taj probably watched it, and I sent the Avatar: Last Airbender trailer, or teaser trailer technically. Joe, did you watch the trailer?
No, you were sending so many trailers out this week. Just like normal text, trailer, normal text, trailer, trailer, normal text. And I'm just like,
I don't even know if there were
I'm
that
at
many
work
normal
and
texts.
just like, I can't do any of this.
And then you quit on it.
Except for the one. There was one that you posted. I was like, ooh, actually, I do need to watch that.
Which one?
Ghostbusters.
I can't remember. It was the Ghostbusters one, yeah. That's
Well,
what
yeah, had to do that one.
Ghostbusters one because it was the only one that I actually responded to.
Ice Spikes, bitches.
Because it was literally just, it's the day after tomorrow Ghostbusters.
It's true.
I hate that it's accurate.
I mean, you know.
But it looks
But I'm
fantastic.
still gonna watch it. It looks amazing for sure. And I'm excited. You brought up the
I only
Last Airbender.
I only sent 10 trailers in the last week, Joe.
Only 10.
Only 10.
Oh no,
Yeah.
never mind.
Oh, not done counting.
That was that last week? In the last 2 weeks, I've sent more for sure. Like a lot more.
It's been a busy time.
Yeah,
You also
trailers.
sent articles too.
I did send articles, a lot of those.
Articles and yeah, even
And
my
Christmas
phone,
albums.
I'm scrolling through stuff and my phone just gave up. It just gave up on showing gifs.
It does that.
Like, there's just too much stuff. Like I don't even know what this is anymore. It just says image something move. Yeah, like my phone is just like not.
That's a video.
I'm not even gonna do this anymore. We're done.
That's a video.
We're done.
His phone's like, nah, bro. Nah.
Just check this video out real
Of
quick.
course, of all pictures though, that is still on my phone. It's the freaking Mike post one.
Which one?
Which mic post?
Oh. him delving into the internet. Mike shouldn't be allowed access to AI.
Work, and I pull that up, and I'm like, I'm on the network. Like somebody is looking at this, right?
Probably. Yeah.
Am I gonna get in trouble?
Probably, yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
You can't get in trouble for what someone sends you.
You'd like to believe.
Well, unless
Right.
it's like, you know, very bad things, but that's I
Very
mean there's
bad.
That's edging. That's edging on bad.
there's technically no nudity in
That's
that.
why I said edging. That's why I said edging.
I mean, he doesn't look like he's edging.
So
He's
many
full blown.
windows here.
But anyhow, Taj, what did you think of the live action teaser trailer for Avatar: The Last Airbender?
It looks better than the movie.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, anything looks better than that fucking piece of shit.
No, knowing what I know about kind of how many attempts that we've had at this. This looks like the best outside of the anime or the cartoon itself. So
It's true. It's true.
I am ready. I'm ready for. We've all, I think, been aching for a good live action Last Airbender, and I think, you know, Netflix has shown an ability to get things better. I don't want to say get things right, but get things better, and that for me that's an exciting opportunity.
I agree. Plus, everything looks really solid.
It really does.
And I'm glad they didn't try to age up a lot of the characters, because that's kind of like the whole point of the fact that they're very young in the show.
Extremely.
So that's kind of cool. Plus, it means they did a really good job of giving us like little bits of like everything. Like they showed us the comet, which is very important. They show us all the major players in the show. For the most part, I mean, they don't show any of the former avatars, but they show also the main characters that are in it, which is pretty rad. And everyone is pretty spot on, visually, at least as far as I'm concerned. Appa looks awesome, so that was very
does
important.
look awesome.
Yep, it was very very exciting to see, and I was like, okay,
So I'm. This is an execution that I've been waiting for certain. So now it's just a matter of the content, like the show content, to determine how well it was done.
very true.
I started watching Blue Eye Samurai, and it is pretty fantastic.
They already greenlit season 2, apparently.
It's
Or well, they're talking about season 2 apparently.
really good, Cody. It's really impressive.
I almost started watching it, mostly because I almost mixed it up for Samurai Champloo. Well, so part of what I was actually going to say at the beginning when you talked about this is that my brother canceled Netflix because of the rate hike.
Yeah.
And whichever, I don't care. So I was like, I'm going to just make sure that I get all my main shows watched, which really was just The Witcher. I log on and like I'm going to finish The Witcher last weekend. Turns out I had already finished The Witcher, and so I was like, well, fuck it. I'll just start watching something else and see if I like it. And One Piece is what I started watching. And I finished that the next day. And somehow we still have Netflix. Now, it could be maybe just when he canceled it, happened to be at the beginning of the new month.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have the next month, but he swears that he canceled it last month, so it should have been done by now. But yeah, so I'm literally just trying to watch as much as I can of the stuff that I've been watching. But yeah, I ran across the what was it called?
Blue Eye Samurai.
Blue Eye Samurai, and I was like, oh shit, Samurai Champloo. I should watch this. Oh wait, that's not it.
No, that's not. But I would recommend watching it because it is very good.
Cool.
Like it starts a little slow, but out of necessity.
Mm-hmm.
But once the action begins, it is wildly good.
That's good to hear. If I get a chance to, I'll probably watch it. But there are still a few other shows that I want to finish first that I have a little bit more invested in. Like Big Mouth new season came out, so I'll probably finish watching that. Did I finish watching Disenchantment season? I don't remember. And there's one other show that I was watching on Netflix that I think has a new season.
I'm also in the middle of a Suits rewatch, so I can bounce around a little bit. But and I watched the first episode of Django because I was really curious.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. Not what I expected, but not bad.
I've heard it's real rough.
Rough how?
Not good rough.
Like, I'm going to stick with not bad so far.
People are not happy with it, but I think they're trying to compare it to the movie. So
yeah, I went in. I watched the trailer, so I knew it wasn't the movie, but I still didn't know what to expect. So I was like, I'm going to watch this and try not to think about the movie because it's really easy to do. The movie was really good too, so it's not, it's one of those things where you go, well, I'm, accustomed to something that was really, fantastic, aside from all the Quentin Tarantinoing and with the N word, but it was very much a fresh Django take, and it's not awful. And after 2 episodes of it, I still say it's not awful.
it's fair.
But that's where I stand so far.
All right. So it's not awful. That's good to hear.
Not awful. But I am far from done. So
Far from done.
what else are we watching? Nothing?
And I'm trying to think of anything else. I really haven't had a whole lot of time to watch or even really play anything. I haven't.
Joe's so busy.
Joe's so I don't know. Like I haven't even really touched Starfield in a while. The last time I played it, I think was last Sunday or something like that, and the game crashed on me twice, and I was just like, well, I'm kind of done with this for now. I might actually be done with it for a little while because I'm starting to get bored in it. Like even trying to. What sucks is like I have that like mentality where how many different powers are there in the game?
24.
There's 24 separate powers in the game. I want to collect them all before moving on because
Pokemon.
Obviously I have an idea. Yep, Pokemon. Of what happens at the end of the game. Because obviously we've talked about it here, and then I've seen little bits of spoilers online where you move into the New Game Plus. It's technically like a different universe, but you have all the powers, and you can upgrade each power with each playthrough, type of thing.
Yep.
So I want to collect all the powers, but the problem is that I thought the way it would work is you get one power, and then you go back to the dude at the lodge, he gives you the next location, and you just do that ad nauseum. 24 different times. But I've reached a point in the story where he doesn't give you the next location. I think you have to do like find more artifacts now.
Yep. Because the artifacts are tied to the powers.
Right. So it's become extremely boring for me. All the side quests that I've run into, because I finished the UC side quest, which was actually pretty fun, but all the other side quests that I've been doing, because my thought process was like, oh, I'll do a side quest and then I'll do the boring stuff, which is the find the power stuff. But I found that the side quests are boring that I've been doing, and then the get the powers is boring. I guess I could start playing the main quest a little bit more, but again, I don't want to do what happened to you, Cody, which was just like, oh shit, I'm at the point of no return all of a sudden.
It almost did it to me again the other day.
Mm-hmm.
This is your second playthrough?
Nope.
So, fourth?
Nope.
Jesus.
I'm on 6.
You are ridiculous.
This is my other weird problem with this game, is that I'm not the type of person to really care about playing New Game Plus. I've had so many other games that it's like, oh, now that you finish the story, you can go and do New Game Plus, where all the enemies are a little bit harder, and you can go blah, 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 blah.
You have all your old shit.
I don't give a shit. I don't care about that stuff. I played through the story.
Fuck you, New Game Plus.
I'm not going to go do it. Yet seems to be what the game is. The whole point of the game is to play the game and play the game and play the game. But I don't like that.
Joe, play the game. Play the game.
At least they have made it so that when you do go into New Game Plus, you are given the option: do you want to play the main story again, or do you want to just skip all the main story, and then what you're doing is you're just giving the locations to the artifacts and the
So side quest hunting.
So you're just, instead of going through the main quest, you're just given all those locations, you just go do it, and then I guess you could just beat the game again. So you don't technically have to do the main game again in New Game Plus. You just have to collect everything, but then I start to wonder what the point of the game is if you're just collecting powers to play again, to then collect the powers again. Like, what is the end goal of this game?
So I don't know if I have the right answer for it, but the way I have done it and the way it looks to me is a lot of is because what's crazy about it is the New Game Plus is
Jesus Christ.
Yikes. Anyways,
Someone's gonna die out there.
New Game Plus is actually a chance to change the narrative. Actually, it's a couple things. One is you can change the narrative, is you can actually play it differently. Yes. So as you go through the main campaign, if you choose to do it again, like I did, I chose to skip the campaign missions, which isn't true but is true, and I'll get to that in a second. My so playthrough 2, 3, 4, and 5 were all just going through, was trying to level up my powers and different things. In my new game plus 6 right now that I'm in, I actually went back through the story missions again, but I fucked up on one of them and I chose the wrong answer and it skipped part of it, and I was like, shit. Because what I wanted to do is I want to try to see if I can get a different narrative beginning at the front of the next new game. And the way you do that is you make different choices with different companions and different things that you do within your playthrough. And there's, I mean, I don't even know if there's a number, but there probably is. Someone's probably figured it out. But there's different when you, like right now so far, because I chose to repeat essentially the same answers I did the first playthrough. My narrative is the same going into that one. I made one difference to see what would happen, and as I went through and did the romantic option with Sarah to see if that would change. But I think what happened is the fact that I got to a point where I had already skipped enough of the narrative to be basically repeated, that those changes didn't make effect. They were just changing. All I got to experience was the two different companion missions. The one is a story mission for Sarah, and the other one is the very short, lackluster thing of getting married.
Yeah, I did that already.
Yeah, so
and you're exactly right. Lackluster was, to say the least.
I literally thought you had to do something to like get there, like she's gonna, but no, it's later just go to that place, talk to the lady, and then just show up at the appointed time, and you're married.
Like you said, lackluster is that, and that's my problem. Because at the same time, above that planet is a colony ship that shows up. That is from an earlier time in Earth's past.
Yeah.
They didn't have faster than light travel, and there's this whole narrative that I was somewhat a little bit excited because I found out about it beforehand, and I was like, oh, this actually sounds very like a very interesting storyline to continue down. And when I stumbled across it there, when I went and did the marriage thing with Sarah, I was like, cool, this will be a fun mission to do. And I was done with it in less than 5-10 minutes, and I was like, oh.
What choice did you make on that one, by the way?
Funny you should ask, because this will get into one of my problems with what you were saying with like making the different choices in the main storyline. Is like it. The choice I made was to just buy an FTL drive for them, because it seemed
I did the
like
same thing.
the most the best choice for them.
Yeah.
I had accidentally, and this is the only time that I've ever reloaded a save based on one of my decisions, because none of the decisions feel like they make sense in some context.
Yeah.
And none of the decisions, and it also doesn't feel like you really have a decision in other things. Like you playing through the main storyline and a bunch of other quests, it feels like you're always just given like 2 options. Like it may show you 4 things there, but the last 2 aren't really options. They're just stuff that explains the other 2 options a little bit more. So you're really just left with 2 options.
Yeah.
That you really answer to. So my problem with doing like a new game plus, it's like, well, I only have 2 options most of the time to do. So what, am I going to be a good guy or an asshole? Like that doesn't change much of the story to me. It's a faux way of making it sound like you have more options available to you when you actually don't. But with that one, yeah, I remember, because I was sitting in the board meeting thing, and one dude was like, yeah, maybe let's not be a dick to these people and they can live on the surface with us. Okay, reasonable. Then the lady was like, well, no, they're basically, let's make them basically indentured servants. And it's like, well, that's really awful of you. Then he comes back and he's like, well, let's give them a warp drive. And then she's like, well, no, that costs too much, and blah blah blah. And I think there was one more option.
Blow it
I
up.
think. Yeah, it was like blow it up or
Yeah,
something.
it's
Like
literally
that.
blow up the ship.
So I go through all of those. I listen to all those options, and then you go back to the main head guy, and he's like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, he offered to let them stay on the planet, and that's not a bad idea. And that was option two, but is option two going to end up being the slavery thing?
It does.
And because it wasn't very clear on what side it wasn't very clear to me on what side that decision fell on. So I tentatively was like, let them stay on the planet, and then Sarah was like, they're gonna be slaves and blah blah blah. Why would you choose that? And I was like, oh god, no. Let's reload the save. No. We're not gonna do that. I guess pay for a drive, a warp drive for them, even though they were like, no. That was one of my biggest problems with that mission is when you talk to them, they're like, no, we don't want to move anywhere else. We want to stay here. Help us negotiate with them on staying on this planet. So when I'm just like, now you're getting a warp drive, and then you go and get the warp drive, which by the way, I don't care if I have to pay for it. I don't use money in this game.
Yeah.
Money in this game to me is completely pointless. I know there are people out there that are like, well, I build the posts and I have fun doing the shipbuilding. I haven't gotten into any of that stuff.
It's definitely
it's
an end game.
Behind, what was that?
It's definitely an end game thing.
Yeah, it's locked behind your abilities that you have to unlock.
Yep.
And B, well, if I go into New Game Plus, I lose all of it anyway.
Yep.
So why should I even invest in any of that stuff?
It's all to level yourself up. So when you finally settle down and not go to New Game Plus, because there's a point where a New Game Plus literally doesn't do anything but just let you reset story stuff and redo missions that you can't redo because they're not replayable. Because there are, once you unlock them, there are unlimited side quests you can get through the different factions, as long as you don't alienate yourself from those factions, like the Crimson Fleet, for example. But there are bounty boards and there's mission boards you can use that like basically randomly generate things to go kill people at or find stuff, whatever happens to be. But yeah, once you get to like New Game Plus 10, if you do it right and don't get fucked out of your first playthrough like I did, if you get all your powers upgraded to level 10, which some of them do not need level 10 because they're useless fucking skills.
I literally only use the grav lift one because every single one that I've gotten so far after that is like, what's the point of this ability?
Sunless Space is my favorite because it freezes enemies.
I haven't gotten that one yet, I don't think.
Look for Temple Kappa is where it comes from. So once you have the Kappa artifact, you should know where you're going to get it. But the once you get the New Game Plus 6, you don't get a new ship. The ship is the same every single time. Then once you get the new Game Plus 10, the suit is the last suit you'll get. Now the only difference is if you're smart about it, from what I heard online, a guy said you can actually re-roll the suit if you save right before you go into Unity and then reload that save so you can get a better version. Now the stats are all much the same. It's the bonuses that are different.
Yeah. It's the same thing with the Mantis armor. If you save just before you collect it, you can sit there and be like, okay, I don't like this, so I'm going to reload, and then it just reloads the stats on it.
Yep.
But yeah, so going back to that mission, it's like, so I end up buying the warp drive. You go back to the ship, and then you don't even meet with the captain anymore, so it just completely drops that half of the storyline where you're supposed to negotiate with the people on the planet.
Well, so it's just
install.
Yeah, so you can go either way. So if you choose which way you go and do those things. So if you negotiate with the people on the planet to, hey, let's let these people settle here, but they're going to be your essentially indentured servants. Or you can go talk to the crew, and they're just like, oh, I don't know if we want that or not. It doesn't really matter. And then blowing them up doesn't do anything different. But the thing I did, which was hilarious, I think was hilarious, is I technically made the CEO guy pay for the new grav drive because I stole the money from his safe.
Nice.
So if you go in there, you can actually, if you're lucky enough, you can find credits in there. I just had to duck down and do the hacking from behind everything so no one can see me, so I didn't get in trouble. But I got on there and I stole like 2,600 credits, and then I did the persuasion choice, which dropped it from 4,000 to 2,000. So not only did he pay for it, but I got extra credits.
Yeah.
And I accidentally shot him in the face one time. I had to reload my save as well. Because I was doing it and I set the controller down.
Uh-huh.
And when I did it, I accidentally hit like the shoot button. And so my dude pulled a gun out and shot him in the face. And I was
he
like,
kinda deserves it, but whatever.
yeah, he's a dick, for sure. But I was like, haha, reload. Because everyone got real mad, apparently, when I shot the CEO in the face.
But I will mention one more thing here.
Yeah.
That you had mentioned about the suits and stuff that's getting me a little frustrated as well is I don't feel like I'm getting any... I think going after the Mantis armor and the... well, just the Mantis armor. I didn't really get any weapons from the Mantis. I am not finding anything that is better than that. Even though I technically am finding stuff that has a little bit better stats, but there's literally no perks to it.
Yeah.
So, if I lose the perks, then to go for higher stats, then in half the time I'm losing much more.
Yeah.
And I'm finding that even in weapons, I'll come across stuff and be like, it's literally exactly the same of what I have right now. I'm level 12 right now, and I'm still using weapons that I collected like at level 8 or 9, 7 or 8 or something like that. I'm literally not running into better weapons or armor at all, and it feels frustrating.
Yeah, a lot of it. So there are different variations of it, and as you get to higher level planets and things, there will be a better chance to drop those ones, but it's RNG still, so like it's kind of sucks. Armor wise, arguably to me, the Starborn armor that you get in New Game Plus is by far the best.
And it should be. It should be definitely the best.
And the reason why, one, it's legendary. Once you get there, it's legendary. But the thing is, it's an all-encompassing suit. So it's the suit, the helmet, and the boost pack all in one. So it drops your mass down, and you don't have to switch out your stuff. So you don't find a better helmet or a better suit or a better boost pack. It's all one. So you don't have to worry about, is this one better or whatever. Now, limitation to legendary stuff is you can't mod them, apparently. Especially with the fact that the Starborn suit is all one piece. And there's a few of them that look dope as shit. And unfortunately, the one I'm in right now, I don't really like because it has a toga thing on it. And I say this because the New Game Plus 5 I had, it looked like if Batman Beyond and Iron Man were fused together, because it was all dark colors, like it was dark gunmetal on it, and I was like, bro. And then there was like I call them, they look like ribbon cables to me, but there's these like things that go between the plates of armor, and they had a slight tinge of like gold on them, and it was dope. And I was like, man, I really wish I could keep this like this cosmetic look, but move on to better stats. And then when I went to the next one, which is 6, I got the what is his name? Emery? No, it doesn't matter. Whatever the character's name is, and it's his suit has like the armor has gold tinge to it, which is cool. But he has the fucking toga on, and the toga looks cool when you're standing still, but when you move, it's all physics based and gets all jittery. And I'm like, well, this is dumb.
And that's my problem with the Mantis suit. Is like, yeah, it has great stats, but I hate the look of it because for some reason it just looks like you're in like doctor's robes.
Yeah, I really hope in a later update later down the road they add the ability to like change, because it's weird. And I say this because you probably haven't gotten into crafting, and Taj probably hasn't played the game since Spider-Man came out.
I did one crafting.
Okay, so
And it
awful.
was an angry crafting.
It was stupid. It's stupid. The crafting is stupid.
You
I
have
hate
Joe
to
likes the
crafting.
crafting.
you have to
Joe
update. You have
likes
to
the crafting.
upgrade your skills to really do everything in it.
Yes.
So you can really change out how the guns are effectively damaging people and how they shoot, but you have to slowly upgrade your skills to get those, and then obviously materials and stuff like that. So there's a lot to it, just like there was in like Fallout 4 and stuff, but a little more elaborate than Fallout 4, because you can change like the receiver, the inner mechanics, like the trigger system, the stock, the magazine, the type of ammo, or not type of ammo, but the type of ammo, not the size or whatever, but like what they are, like flechette rounds and
It's
things
not
like
about
that.
the size.
That's not what
why
she
I
said.
say the crafting is stupid is, and this is what I have a problem with in a lot of these games, is you'll literally have a gun that's like, oh, it has this. I picked up this one that I have this older one, so like I did just get a slightly better lawgiver, which is a long range
Yeah.
rifle. I'm like, cool, but it doesn't have a scope on the new one. Can't I just take the scope off the old one and put it on the new one?
Nope.
Joe, you're
No.
thinking way too
No,
complex, sir.
I have to go collect like thread and carbon and some other exotic materials in order to fucking craft a scope that's just right there on the old one that looks like it's screwed on. You can't just take it off, put it on the new one.
Yeah, that was actually a complaint by a lot of people, is the crafting. Once you craft and unlock something, it doesn't unlock it all the time. You have to recraft it every single time.
That's
So
dumb.
yeah, it's real stupid. So not only do you have to do the research to unlock the ability to make and craft that item, but if you get a better version of a gun, like so you have an advanced version of a gun, then you get a calibrated version, which technically is supposed to be better.
Mm-hmm.
You have to recraft the item, the mods for it, which is real stupid in my opinion. So I mean, other than just trying to upgrade, trying to unlock them and build the best version of a gun I can find, other than finding a legendary one, which obviously is supposed to be the best of those guns. You can't just, oh, I've crafted it for this type of gun, I can upgrade it whenever I want. You have to rehab those materials and do it again, which is in the way of them forcing you have to do like the whole outpost thing, so you can like hoard
Right.
resources, which is just crazy. I mean, the benefit to it is you can actually pull resources from anywhere. So if you have an outpost that's on a different planet, you don't have to go get those resources and go somewhere and do it. You can actually pull them out of the ether and just have them. So
Yet I
you
can't
know,
get freaking email or messages sent to me
bro,
from other
it's
planets.
dude.
That I have to travel back to Constellation headquarters, talk to the dude to get the next location
Yeah.
of the next power or artifact or whatever. And then I travel out there.
And the thing about that, Joe, is all that comes from the Eye, which is the space station, which he's at one point in the game he's no longer on.
Yeah.
So he's getting that information remotely.
Mm-hmm.
But yet I can't get it remotely. And
But
Noel
yet you
can
can't just
scan stuff
message
from
me
your
and
ship.
just say, hey, I found the next location. It's here. Why don't you just go here? Thank you.
And the other crazy part, Joe, is if you travel to, so you say you have, like, right now I have all their artifacts, right? Again, for the fucking 6th time. If I travel into a system, if I have the artifact and there's a temple for it, it automatically picks it up and gives you the side mission to get that power.
Okay.
But there's like 1,000 planets,
Uh-huh.
and there's like, I don't know how many fucking systems, 100 or so systems or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, I've done it. It happened a few times where like I jump to a system and I get a prompt saying, "Hey, power from beyond," and I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'm doing something here, like a mission or something, and I can then go get that." But I'm not going to travel. I mean, I could obviously because it's part of the whole thing. To every system and hope it triggers the temple there. But having the fact to travel now, mind you, fast travel is a little easier to do once you figure it out. So you can just jump to the lodge wherever you are in the system. But it is shitty that you have to keep going back to Vladimir to get the next temple location when you could literally just be like, "Hey, bro, I've done this one. How about you give me the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. It is in. I agree with you. It is stupid that you have to do that. Now, one of the things that I like doing, and it doesn't happen in every single temple, is a lot of times there's some kind of structure you can go to after you go to the temple. I say that after because I tend to forget what I was doing because I get excited about killing things and looting.
At least you have that excitement. I don't. I get so, and this will probably be the last thing I say on it. I get so angry that I have to walk like 3 minutes to get to the temple and then play your stupid little game in order to get the power and then fight your stupid little star baby enemy guy at the end. That I am so angry that I am doing this dumb thing multiple times. I have no desire to go, oh, I should go explore that ruin over there.
I do. It's funny you bring up. This is the last thing I'll say, and we'll wrap it up. What makes me laugh about the whole Starborn showing up after you get the power is they're Starborn, and then their name is the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you think they want to try to stop you from going in the temple before you get the power?
Yes.
So when you approach, shouldn't they attack you then, not after you've already left? Because they can't take it from you.
Right?
Yeah,
and
they can kill you, but it's like...
I've gotten the first power, I literally just go, get into the air and just la 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 la, shoot them and just, they're dead.
Yeah, I'm like...
This is the point, my gun goes la 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 la.
I was going to ask if you said that,
la,
or
la,
the
la, la,
gun.
A little bit of both.
Gun, it's like Borderlands, just la 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 la. Yeah, but you're right. Like, you would think that they want to stop you before you get in, not after you've gotten the power. I get kind of probably the mechanics of it. It's like, oh, test out the new power on the Starborn, see how it is. But no.
Well, some of them aren't even offensive. So
hilariously enough, I had it that where, because Sarah finally has the working minigun, and she knows how to kind of use it every once in a while, even though she'll still try to. Okay, I'm not going to complain anymore. Sorry. She still runs up to things and meleeing.
Just let it out,
have
buddy.
a Gatling gun. Stop running up to things and meleeing things. But on this particular instance, like, I hit the key to float the guy up, and she just and kills him. I was like, oh, finally, Jesus Christ!
You can do that.
Joe, all you have to do is incapacitate the bad guy, and eventually she'll shoot him.
Yeah, but I'm saying is like sometimes she'll just run up to them and start meleeing them. She'll have the Gatling gun in her hands and just go, and I'm like, if you step back and you just fire that thing, it's gonna be a lot better.
Yeah, they're kind of dumb. They don't really do much.
I'm done complaining because now that I've got on the companions, I can complain all day.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Me too.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Joe really doesn't like the game.
Maybe if I just continue down the main story, at least the UC mission was relatively fun because it was basically Starship Troopers. And maybe if I continue down the main story, there will be more fun to have there. But every other side quest has been boring, and the getting the powers is boring.
This is the last thing I'll say, and we'll wrap it up. I promise. From what I can tell, if the side mission has that little, I call it the blue zero, it's gonna be a pretty bland side mission of talking to people. If it has an icon, it's gonna be a little more in depth, but also I find they're gonna be a lot more fun because you get to kill things and do things. But that's all I can tell. I mean, because I've run into quite a few of the whole talking simulators, and they're really not that much fun to do. Because like, go talk to this person, figure out the best solution or whatever it is for the thing, and then you're done. And you get rewards at the end, but most of them are money or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, well that's it. We're done. We'll wrap it up there. I'll give the wrap up signal. Fuck you for slacking off, producer.
Who are you talking to like that?
The producer over there. Anyways, that has been this episode of Comes Naturally. We have been
Joe,
Taj.
I've been Cody, and as usual, you fuckers just came naturally.
bye.
It's bad every time.
Taj, no outro. You don't have like a signature piece, love someone.
I'll have to work on that. I'll take it back to the
Yeah.
the other producers and the writers and see what I can come up with.
Garbage.